It's Kevin Keatsman Uncanceled on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. I'm Kevin Keatsman in the hot seat here for the next hour, leading you up to the Vince Show, and we got a lot of great topics today. Wow, did Tom Homan kill it this morning at a news conference, his first public appearance in Minneapolis. We will get to the crux of why what he said is the end-all, be-all to this entire situation. And it was very simple. And it needs to be emphatically restated over and over and over. He said it in a very calm demeanor. We'll get to that here coming up in just a couple of moments. We'll also talk about the new video that's out of Alex Preddy, who clearly is an agitating thug and died tragically because of his own stupidity. That's what I'll say. And did the agents do some things wrong? Was it not perfect? Yeah, we can have that discussion all day long. In the end, you know, it's not war, but it kind of looks like a war zone sometimes. The fog of war makes for interesting choices or difficult choices, and the bottom line is Preddy clearly was doing this how are you a nurse? Was he still a nurse? How was he working? It looks like he was doing this all the time, and his family didn't want him doing it, and the video is very damning about what kind of a person he was. I've got some thoughts on Bruce Springsteen that are far different than everyone else's on this insanely ridiculous and embarrassing song that he has released. At 10:30, we'll talk about Vahe Gregorian of the Kansas City Star. Vahe was a voter in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and did not vote for Bill Belichick. It had nothing to do with cheating or scandals or any of those things. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. He didn't say it didn't affect his vote. He said it didn't decide his vote. Those things didn't decide his vote. So we'll get into Vahe, who's the first person publicly to say, I didn't vote for him, and here's why, and he's blaming the system. And, of course, Mark Van Parley will join us at the end, although he's not feeling well. He's got kind of a tickle in his throat. It's going around his house. We'll see how his voice holds up today. He is sometimes a man of few words anyway, so we'll check in with Mark later in the show. I want to start by thanking Mayor Q for giving me the shout-out on Monday in the morning today, as he was Pete's guest earlier than normal. It was great to hear him. And first of all, I marvel at the fact that he can go from CNN yesterday to Monday in the morning, a conservative talk show in Kansas City, and just slide right in like it's the most comfortable car he ever sat in. I'm riding on this train. This is easy. I'll do CNN. I can handle that. I'll do Mundo. I can handle that. The guy's amazing. He's truly amazing. And I mean what I said yesterday. If I'm happy for one person in Kansas City, really, truly one person, if the Royals wind up in Kansas City, Missouri, the person I'm most happy for, I'm happy for the whole city because I think it's the right thing. I think downtown baseball is great. If they can figure this out and they do it right, I'm going to be very happy. But I'm really happy for Mayor Q because he's done the impossible. We've said over and over and over, he's not the most important cog in this thing. There was a Jackson County vote. There were all these things taking place, and we kept saying, what ultimately can a mayor do? He's not the most important guy. Now, he was outspoken. He was confident all along that the Royals would stay or the Chiefs would stay, whatever. Forget the predictions, the confidence, all that stuff. It's insane. What we knew was the Royals and Chiefs were always going to take the most money. That's it. Now it looks like Kansas City, Missouri may be the most money, actually more than Kansas. A better offer than Kansas to go where they initially wanted to be, and that's downtown. So I'm happy for Mayor Q. Don't laugh at what I'm about to say. If the Royals build a downtown ballpark and Mayor Q has $500 million for them, and all he has to do is get the council to vote along with him, they should put a statue of him in there. It should be inside, not outside, not on the street, or maybe not Royals Hall of Fame, not that. Maybe some sort of civic display, a giant plaque or something with his likeness on a plaque, like a Hall of Fame plaque, maybe not a statue. Mayor Q should get that. This is going to be his stadium, folks. If they build this in Kansas City, Missouri, Mayor Q is the reason. Mike Kehoe and the state of Missouri and the Republicans got the 50%. They got the $1 billion for the Royals. That is all true. It came with a caveat. Some local municipality or entity must come up with some money. Clay County's failing. Jackson County's failing. We got all kinds of failure running around. Who got it done? Mayor Q. This is, again, how we are different than Democrats. If you can't be open-minded about something like this and say, wow, that's the guy that looks like he's going to get this done, and pat him on the back because the Royals need to stay in Kansas City. They need a new ballpark. People are not going to vote yes. Nobody anywhere votes yes to give money to ball teams. They don't. Local officials that we elect, and sometimes state officials, make decisions because we put them in charge, and they say, no, this is just different. We have to have these sports teams. And it is. And a lot of people listening are burnt out on this topic. A lot of people listening don't like sports all that much. I got it. It matters more than the Symphony. It matters more than the Nelson Atkins. It matters more than the Kauffman Center. It matters more than all those things combined. It does for your city. There is no explaining why Kansas City is in so much better shape right now and moving forward and doing better things than St. Louis, other than sports teams. That's it. That's it. America views us differently. They see us differently. The Chiefs have a decade of dominance in the NFL, and Kansas City, everything in Kansas City, all boats rise with the tide. It's sports. It's a different animal. We're not going to be Hollywood. We're not going to be Las Vegas. We don't have mountains to ski on. We don't have golf resorts you can play at in the wintertime. We don't have an ocean. We don't have beaches. We don't have that stuff. What we have is sports. This is a great sports town. It is a massively important, great sports town. For its size, we used to talk about boxers. Pound for pound, he's the best boxer in the world. Pound for pound, Kansas City is the best sports town in America, and it's not close. It just is. We've got too many titles here that I don't know whether we deserve them or not. Everybody's got one. KU wins a title. Sporting Kansas City wins a title. The Royals won a World Series. Only real small market team to win a World Series in this era of baseball. Chiefs win 3. You got the greatest, most popular athlete in America, Patrick Mahomes here. Come on. Do we deserve it? I don't know. Have we earned it? Hell yeah, we've earned it. And I'll take Mayor Q on my team any day. Listen, if that $500 million goes to the Royals instead of some liberal-ass slush fund thing going on, count me in. Do you know what they were going to spend that money on? Do you want to give it to Ventures Development or whatever so they can build warehouses out by Richards Gabar? Would you rather have those warehouses out there that they're going to make an ICE detention facility? Would you rather have those big metal buildings that we don't know what they're going to do with because of Port KC money, or would you rather have the Royals? These are not even close decisions. Way to go, Mayor Q. Thanks for listening. Now, let's make this about me for a second. He said, I was listening to Kevin Keatsman on Tuesday, and he said it was a done deal before he said, oh, my gosh, the Royals have pulled out of 119th. And he was insinuating that I had said it was a done deal in Overland Park. Let me reiterate what we led the show with on Tuesday. The Democrat chief of staff in charge of the Senate in Kansas told people in his circle it was a done deal, but they can't announce it because Overland Park and T-Mobile are holding this thing up. That's when I told you the T-Mobile jobs in Overland Park had become a real problem for this project. They got to figure out another place for T-Mobile other than Bellevue, Washington, or the whole thing's going to implode. I think in the end, there was no other way to keep the T-Mobile jobs. And then I suggested after this thing fell apart, maybe T-Mobile should buy the mortgage and buy the entire property. That'd be great for Kansas City. If the end result was T-Mobile owns all that land and stays and builds in Kansas City and the Royals are downtown, we all win. Jackson County voters really won because they didn't like paying any money to the Royals, and now they don't have to, it looks like. So, yes, I couldn't tell if Mayor Q was patting me on the back or trying to insult me. It doesn't matter. I was thrilled that he brought that up on Mondo's show today, and he was talking about a wide variety of topics and was obviously very, very good in many cases about not saying much, which was fine. That's what he does. And I'm serious about this, man. I commend Mayor Q for getting this thing done. All right, we're going to spend a couple minutes here on Tom Homan, the border czar, who had his first public appearance, and he mentioned that the Attorney General of Minnesota has agreed to notify the feds when they release double criminal aliens. And that's my term for them. I don't want to say criminal aliens. Every illegal alien is a criminal. They're here criminally. We absolutely, positively, by law, have the right to deport any illegal alien at any moment. for any reason. It's the law. But the state of Minnesota has agreed we're going to notify you when we have an illegal alien that has committed another crime, and when we're about to release them from jail, because this is what we do in a sanctuary state, we let the criminals back out, we will notify you upon their release, and you just pick them up at the gate. They're all yours. Great. Massive progress. Massive progress right there. The most important thing Homa said today, Congress made these laws. I'm here to enforce them. It needs to be pounded over and over and over. The Democrats don't seem to know this. Bruce Springsteen doesn't seem to know this. That Democrats passed laws in America, federal laws. They voted this. This is bipartisan. Our immigration laws are as bipartisan as anything we have in law. The Democrats voted for it. Obama is one of Tom Homan's heroes. He loved Obama. Why do you think Tom Homan loved Obama? Tom Homan is not political, folks. He doesn't care about the politics of this. Immigration is his life. The border is his life. It's his career. It's his calling. Like some people become preachers or singers or doctors. This is his calling. Save America. Keep the border closed. This is his calling. He loved Obama. Obama loved him. Obama deported 3 million people. Tom Homan did that. Homan loves Trump. It's not politics. It's not party. Tom Homan has never changed. Guess what Tom Homan knows? He knows the law that Congress passed. All of them. Inside and out. And they're not breaking any of them in Minneapolis. And we need to keep saying this over and over and over. Congress made the laws. We're here to enforce them. Congress made the laws. We're here to enforce them. Democrats and Republicans made the laws. We're here to enforce them. He said at one point today, the open borders from the last few years, the 3 million people that came in, quote, scare the hell out of me, unquote. He said there were 2 million undocumented that came in, gotaways or whatever you want to call them, 2 million gotaways. He's like, we offered them money, food, the green cards or whatever, the visas. We offered them everything to come in. Open border, come on in, come through the processing, and we'll set you up, and you'll be set, and you can work here. We offered that open borders. We offered it to everyone. 2 million of them did not take it. Homan said, why do you think those 2 million people didn't take it? They didn't want to be in our system, and they didn't want to be fingerprinted. It was the cartels. Why? He said, why would they pay more money to come to America, more of their own money to get here, sneak past us illegally so we don't know they're here, than to come in, let us catch them, give them money and a cell phone and a place to stay, and send them to whatever city they want? Why wouldn't they do that? Why would they sneak in? He's like, all 2 million of these people are criminals. They came here to do wrong. He is so right. This guy's awesome. He's an absolute rock star. And it really is about the laws and not the politics. We need to say it over and over and over. 913-408-7957. That's 913-408-7957. We'll take your calls next on Uncanceled. This is KCMO Talk Radio. Well, I had 2 topics I was going to talk about in this segment, and the 2 topics are reflected in 2 callers that we have on the line. So I'm going to do it that way. Instead of me monologuing it, we're going to do it as dialogue here. And we'll begin with Tom in Paola. Tom, good morning. Thank you so much for calling Uncanceled. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Love your show, man.
Thank you.
Hey, so if I'm understanding this right, now all of a sudden that the county jails in Minnesota are going to cooperate and release criminal illegal aliens. Is that correct?
Yes.
So think about how all of this could have been avoided.
Yes.
And we would have never had this issues with the rioting and people losing their life had we got cooperation from the beginning.
The politicians are the same as the agitators in the street. This is what Democrats do, okay? They break the law to keep the law from being enforced, and that's what causes all the trouble. When you go as an agitator and you walk in the middle of the street and you spit on an ICE agent, you're breaking the law. That's what starts the trouble. When you throw something at an ICE agent, that's what starts the trouble. When ICE says, we want these prisoners turned over to us, and you won't do it, look, they're running around. These officials are saying in the state of Minnesota, we're not responsible for federal immigration. That's correct. Right. So when you have them in your jails, release them to the feds.
Yeah. Hey, before I go, can I give a shout out to my son?
Sure.
Hey, Jared, love you, man.
That's awesome, man. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks,
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Say hi to our friends at Paola. I got family in Paola. That is you, Trump country, baby. I love me some Paola. They got a great Mexican restaurant out there, too. They got a lot of good restaurants in Paola. Good stuff. Appreciate your call, Tom. And, the immigration, we've seen now the new video of Alex Preddy. And he's a thug. And he did a lot of stupid things on January 13th and again on January 24th. He committed the same crimes. We have multiple. We've lost track of the number of federal crimes the man committed before being shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent. Now, it's tragic. It shouldn't have happened. The cops, I won't say they panicked. I don't know what happens when a gun goes off, a shot goes off, and you got a perp on the ground that has a gun. I'm probably shooting him too. I'm never going to second guess these people that do these jobs because, hell, I can't do those jobs, right? I love these people. I'd let an ICE agent babysit my grandchild, okay? End of conversation. I don't even need to vet this dude. You show up at my house and you're an ICE agent and I got to go. Could you watch my child for me? Yes, please. Thank you. Anything. I believe in them fully. Alex Preddy, on the other hand, was a disturbed man who committed many crimes and did some really stupid things. And we've now seen the video of what it was that he did. I've said this from the beginning. Why are these people confronting ICE? Why are they doing what they're doing? Number one is, okay, forget the reason. That's not really what I'm talking about, or that they're mentally unhinged or whatever. The number one reason is they're not afraid of them. They're like, I can go yell at these people. I can flip them off. I can get all my frustrations out by doing this, and they can't touch me. Secondly is they won't touch me. I can do something really stupid, like spit at them or push them around or do whatever, and probably still nothing will happen. Alex Preddy, 11 days before he was killed, showed up, spit at ICE agents, kicked the lights out of their truck, resisted arrest, got thrown to the ground, allegedly, according to CNN, broke a rib while he got thrown to the ground. And what did the ICE officers do? They got in their car and they drove off. This was a man with a gun. They let him go. This has been the worst part of the problem in Minneapolis. We've let too many people go. If you step in and interfere, even if you don't touch an ICE agent, cuff them, drag them, get them out of there. You broke the law. You're interfering with us. You can't be here. You can't do this. This is not peaceful protest. You don't have to spit on me. You don't have to throw at me. You don't have to do anything. If your car, Renee Good, is parked in the way, which is what they were doing, they weren't going to arrest her, I don't think. They were going to pull her out of her car, get the information, and tell her to go home, which is what they've been doing. And if we've learned one lesson from all of this, you can't do that. You can't just let them go. They get emboldened. Alex Preddy was emboldened. He felt like a tough guy. They're not going to do anything to me. I'm going to go back and get him some more, and I'm going to bring my gun because I'm really, really, really tough. You cannot embolden criminals. You can't do it. And I think the mistake that's been made is they let too many people go, including Alex Preddy. If they pulled him in that day and they arrested him and they charged him and they fined him, he may never have come back. It's possible. Or he certainly wouldn't have come back the same way. All right, hang on the line. We'll get to Jeff and Shawnee and some others next on KCMO. Uncanceled continues on KCMO Talk Radio. The Vince Show coming your way at 11 o'clock. And if Trump starts his cabinet meeting, we'll jump into it for a couple of moments. But it's been running late, and we don't see any sign of it starting anytime soon. I've got some thoughts on Vahe Gregorian, the local writer who did not vote for Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame. We'll do that coming up in a few minutes. We've got Jeff and Shawnee's been waiting patiently on a topic that I wanted to talk about anyway, so we will give Jeff the microphone first. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the show.
Hey, great show. Hey, years ago, 78, 79, I worked at a grocery store, made $4 an hour. I stood in line at Capers Corner for probably 9 hours in the freezing cold to get tickets to Springsteen, the River tour. At the end of the day, here's the deal, man. I love Springsteen. There's 10 or 11 songs on when it comes on XM. I can't turn it off, man. But just like Neil Young, John Cougar, these guys are angry. They're not in the real world. Springsteen went on tour here a couple of years ago. The cheapest ticket was like $400, and they talked to his manager. They go, "Why take us $400?" And he's like, "Well, that's what they bring. They're not for the working man. At one time, they were for the working man. But they're never going to have to worry about ICE or anything like that. They got security. They're not in the real world. My wife, I've been married to for 40 years. She's the salt of the earth. she will not even listen to Springsteen if he's on the radio. She turns the channel. I can get past that, but I saw Foghat out here in Arizona, front row. The only original member was the drummer for $45. I got the money. But I'm not going to spend the money on these big shows, and it is what it is. I mean,
I think I got a lot of problems with Bruce Springsteen. My inbox this morning when I woke up, I had 6 or 7 emails from listeners who told me, and they're my podcast listeners, we've got kind of this, I've got a really intimate, this sounds weird, an intimate relationship with the podcast listeners. They all email me. I get a lot of emails from podcast listeners. So they all said the same thing. They've deleted all Springsteen songs from their playlist. They're done. That they'd given him every possible chance. They'd watched him make a fool of himself. You know, for me, yeah, I guess in a weird way, I'd rather him write a song about Minneapolis and release it than to go on foreign soil and trash our country. That really, really, really bothered me. You know, the politics is supposed to end at the shoreline. I've always thought that. It doesn't belong in other places. Springsteen has violated both of those things. Here's the worst part about this song. When I first heard it, I thought it was a parody. I thought somebody was making fun of Springsteen. It is such a bad song. It is so poorly composed. It has no real, like, it sounds like one of those, you know, they do these stupid chants in the streets. They all kind of have the same beat, the same rhythm. I'm like, he's just reading off words. He's reading like a poem that's not real poetry. It's bad. It's not interesting. It's awful. I feel terrible for him. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. He looks like freaking Ellen DeGeneres. Okay? I can't tell the difference between him and Ellen anymore. What the hell is wrong with Bruce Springsteen, and who wants to go see him?
Hey, Kevin, I agree with you. When I heard the song this morning for the first time on Mundo, I thought it was a spoof.
Exactly.
I know you're a big John Cougar Mellencamp fan, and it's just, aren't you? You still are. And
I am. Here's the thing. Okay, we did this a couple weeks ago. He just put a film out, a little short film. He's going to come on tour. He's going to be at Morton Amphitheater this summer. I don't know if people are going to buy tickets or not. His problem is nobody's gone to his shows because he's fighting with his audience. They've been booing him. He's getting in their face. He's had all these problems. His film with Sean Penn that was about 4 minutes long is an apology and a request for forgiveness. Please come see my show. I'm going to play all the hits. And he didn't specifically say it, but I think he's suggesting there'll be no politics. I'm just going to play the music. Let's go have a good night at Morton Amphitheater. I think that's what it's about. Would I give him a chance? I might go, but I swore him off a long time ago. When he sat for the national anthem at an Indianapolis Colts game eating popcorn while they're honoring veterans down on the field, no, I was out. Here's the problem I've got with Mellencamp and Springsteen. It's not that they can't have their political views. It's not that they can't say what they want. We all bought into this music, and I've not had a discussion with Pete. I know he loves Springsteen, and I know they're from Jersey, and it's a cultural, iconic thing. Our generation, we bought into Springsteen because he was singing about us. He was telling us that the American dream is possible, but it's hard. You're going to get your ass kicked in America. There's going to be people trying to keep you down, hold you back. Man, I grew up in a union household, okay? He was singing to me. I grew up in the farmland breadbasket of America. Mellencamp was singing to me about the farmers and the difficulties and the banks foreclosing on these ranchers and all these things going on. And yes, maybe those were what they thought political at the time, but it wasn't that. It was about Jack and Diane were in love. He wanted to be a football star. That wasn't a reality. He's got this girl. He's going to have to work his butt off to make a life for them, okay? What happened to that message that you can be exceptional in America, but you got to go get it? Now these guys just bitch and moan about everything, and I'm sick of it, and I'm going to say it again. Bruce Springsteen looks like Ellen DeGeneres.
Hey, it's the same thing with Sean Penn and all these guys. Hey, I tell these people all the time, Keithman, I was a member of Greenpeace. I mean, for about 4 years when I was young. I saw the light. And my dad was a big union guy, and I grew up in a union household. And like I said, Springsteen taught, you know, he sung to us, right?
He did.
And he sung to us. And you, too, in the first couple albums they did, too. But like I said, there's a half a dozen songs when he comes on XM radio, man, I cannot turn off. I will never go to the show again, but
if somebody asked you what did Born to Run as a signature, what did Born to Run mean to you?
Born to Run was good, and The River was good, but Nebraska
what was it saying to you? What was the song?
Yeah.
See, to me, music is what is it saying to me? What was Born to Run telling you when you were a young man?
Well, it was pro-American, and it was just
it was telling you to go get it. Get out of town and go get it. If the opportunity is not in front of you, go find it.
Yeah. No, it's we agree on this one. Like I said,
we got to get out while we're young. We got to get out while we're young. Baby, I was born to run. We got to go. We got to get out of here and find something. We're all looking for that as young men. I'm sorry, ladies in the audience, I'm not trying to be sexist here, okay? This man wrote songs about men. He did. And what it was like, especially to be a young man. And we're terrified. From the time we're 15, 14, we're terrified no girl will talk to us. We're terrified we're never going to be able to make any money. We're terrified we'll never be able to provide a home, or at least my generation was. We're terrified that we're going to let our kids down in some way. We were terrified between the ages of 15 and 30 about this stuff. And when he's singing this and telling you, go for it, go out and make something, man, that was powerful stuff. And now what's he doing? He's just trashing his country. He did what his songs were about. He went out and became great, and he's forgotten all about it.
No, John Cougar Mellencamp, Blood on the Scarecrow. What a great song.
Of course.
Yeah.
A lot of great songs.
Yeah.
You know, Small Town. I mean, he's just got incredible. Jack and Diane. Who could listen to the words of Jack and Diane and not relate to that as a teenager, as a senior in high school or whatever? Who could not relate to that song?
I'm with you.
It's over, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good call, Jim. Good call, man. I appreciate it. I'm getting worked up, and I shouldn't. And I do want to see the Mellencamp show, but this guy did something so bizarre this week. Somebody's got him like on social media trying to, make up a lot. I don't know what's going to happen with this tour. It could be a total flop for Mellencamp. It absolutely could. And I'm not sure he's got anything left in him. He's on a treadmill, and he's doing a short little video at his house, it looks like. And he says, I got to get in shape for my tour. We're going to play 2.5 hours straight of all the hits, all the songs you like, while chain smoking cigarettes on the treadmill. Like he's making some sort of a joke about it. I'm like, no. We know you're a chain smoker and you can't quit. But no, we don't want to come see an old man that's smoking cigarettes on stage that can't sing the songs. You got to be good. If people are going to come see you again in big venues, you got to not just give them the songs, you got to be good at them. There's a whole lot of older artists out there right now playing those songs and not doing it very well. And people are like, wow, has this passed this person by? So I don't know what Mellencamp's got left in him. Springsteen's got enough left on stage, I think, and will always have a good enough band around him that maybe that's not ultimately his problem. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, he looks like Ellen DeGeneres. Go look at a picture of him. He's got a more Ellen haircut than Ellen. It's weird. It looks like he's trying to transition, or he's bisexual, or I don't know what it is. I can't tell you about. I just see these pictures of Springsteen's new haircut, and I'm like, something going on in that boy's life that we don't recognize. Okay, that's not the cover of Born in the USA with the ball cap, the denim jeans, and the back pocket, and the white T-shirt. It's like it's a mind worm. You get this liberal stuff gets in your brain and just eats at you like maggots sucking around on your cortex. It's just unbelievable what happens to these people. He's totally lost it. All right, I want to take a couple moments and do a couple things. Vahe Gregorian of the Kansas City Star is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Again, just nothing but great things to say about Vahe. He's written some of the greatest sports pieces you could ever write. He's a smart guy. He's really good at what he does. He's committed to his craft. And he's liberal. Okay, whatever. Doesn't really come out a lot. It does. He likes to pick and choose some stories that you and I maybe wouldn't select and say, hey, that's important to me. That's okay. That's his prerogative. It's all good. He's one of the 50 voters for the Hall of Fame committee, and he did not vote for Bill Belichick to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He is the only one that's publicly come out and said, I didn't vote for him. And he said, there is a category of seniors, and Belichick would fit into that. And in the category of senior, you can only vote for 3. So Vahe knew he could vote for Bill Belichick next year. He might have even assumed Belichick was getting in. And so he voted for Ken Anderson, who played quarterback, L.C. Greenwood of the Steelers, and Roger Craig from the 49ers. These are the 3 guys that he voted for, the seniors. Like, this might have been their last chance, or they're at the very end. So the rules suck. They should have a first-year exemption. If you're a first-year candidate, that should be separate. That should be a totally separate ballot than everyone else. Anyone who's eligible the first year should be on a ballot, and anybody that gets 90% of the votes, the first year is in. And then we'll do the rest of these people that have been on the ballot for a while, the older people, whatever. So Vahe is saying, well, I know Belichick's going to be around. I had to, in the goodness of my liberal heart, give Ken Anderson, L.C. Greenwood, and Roger Craig a shot. Folks, this isn't politics, but this cuts to the core of the difference between people who are liberal and conservative. As a conservative, if I were a voter on that committee, this is cut and dried. American exceptionalism is to be rewarded. It's to be recognized, propped up, cheered, and rewarded. Bill Belichick is American exceptionalism. He's the greatest pro football coach of all time. He won 6 Super Bowls as head coach, 2 as an assistant. Nobody has his resume. He may be goofy. His girlfriend is half his age, a third of his age, maybe. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's a whole bunch of, doesn't matter. O.J. Simpson's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's not a character test. It's got nothing to do with it. Belichick not in is an absolute travesty and a joke and a mockery of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But the sports writers that vote are more liberal than news writers. They're way liberal. And within the core of them is this thing that I'm going to wake up today and I'm going to have this goodness about me and I'm going to help others in need and do, whatever, which is admirable in many cases, but not in the case of Ken Anderson, L.C. Greenwood, and Roger Craig. Who cares? Who cares about them? You can't mention Ken Anderson, L.C. Greenwood, and Roger Craig in the same sentence as Bill Belichick. You cannot do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't add up. And I think that's all this was. A liberal sports reporter thinking, well, I got to do the right thing here. These other guys are going to go off the ballot. This is their last chance. And I'm going to feel, it's virtue signaling too. I'm going to feel better about myself that I took the high ground and did the right thing by these people, and I can do the Belichick thing later. That's it. We see it all the times in things that take place in politics or the news or whatever. It's playing out in the Pro Football Hall of Fame balloting. I respect Vahe. I cannot tell you how much I respect him for coming out and explaining all this and saying he's won. It's awesome. Should be great for his career. It's going to be a huge national story for the next couple days. He'll probably do interviews. You're going to see it everywhere. It'll wind up on news as well. It'll wind up on Fox News and everywhere else. CNN. It'll transcend sports. Vahe is about to get really famous for what he's written and what he's done. It's going to be everywhere. I understand what he's saying. Mostly, I respect the fact that he did it, that he said what happened and was transparent about it. That's awesome. He and I have that in common. What we don't have in common is this bleeding heart thing for Ken Anderson, L.C. Greenwood, and Roger Craig. Bill Belichick belongs in the hall. We'll come back. Mark Van Sickle, voice willing, will join us to talk a little bit about it. Gardner Minshew did not have an ACL injury. You guys know this? Did the Chiefs throw the end of the season and tank it on purpose, and are fines coming? Next on Uncanceled. Welcome back to the show. Let's check in with our guy, Mark Van Sickle, and see how he's feeling. He's lost a little bit of his voice. Something's going around his household. How you doing, buddy? You hanging in there?
I'm doing all right. The voice is a little bit scratchy, but I'll live, and I'll work through it.
I heard Pete reel you into a conversation about an hour ago about Eric Bieniemy. I wasn't sure you wanted to be reeled in. Are you okay doing this segment?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. We're glad you're playing hurt today. Apparently, the Chiefs didn't think it was a very good idea for Gardner Minshew to play hurt for the Chiefs. Adam Schefter of ESPN reported yesterday that the Chiefs' backup quarterback that missed those last couple of games, 100% healthy. No torn ACL. It was just a bruise. Mark Van Sickle, I've got 2 questions. I've got 1 question for you. You get a multiple choice here. Did the Chiefs fake this and tank the season for a draft choice, or do they have bad doctors?
Maybe both.
No. If the doctors told him that, if the doctors just blew it, then the Chiefs did the right thing.
Well,
I don't think the doctors blew anything.
I feel like I remember them saying about a month ago that he didn't tear his ACL, so I don't know why Schefter just kind of made it like it was big news yesterday, if that makes sense.
Well, he's 100% healthy now.
Well, that was new, I guess.
He could seriously be playing now. No ACL, and I just think it begs the question, did the Chiefs tank the season? Because they said it was an ACL and held that through the season, right? They didn't announce anything about his injury until after the season.
I think they did. They said that he didn't tear it, but that he was still hurt.
Okay. Still an ACL injury, but not a tear or something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like the Chiefs tanked the season to me. But that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got the 9th pick in the draft. We're okay with that if they don't get caught, right?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Just don't get caught. Gene Taylor, you mentioned this to me yesterday. We ran out of time. The athletic director at Kansas State appeared before the Kansas House yesterday with Brett Yormark via Zoom call, who's the commissioner of the Big 12. They're petitioning the state of Kansas for K-State, KU, and Wichita State to fund money for name, image, and likeness for athletes. Your thoughts?
It's not the worst idea, but I don't love it at the same time. We could be doing better stuff with the money, of course.
It will be wildly unpopular with the citizens of Kansas. I will say this. If these teams wind up being underfunded and not competitive, watch enrollment go down. And then the state of Kansas has a real problem on their hands.
That's true.
The most important thing for states across the country right now with their institutions of higher education is to find a way to keep from bleeding students. Because college is expensive, whether that's lowering tuition, whatever it may be, these states can't afford to close these institutions. And we're seeing a lot of enrollment really go down. One of the giant things at Kansas, obviously, is the basketball program, and at K-State, the football program. Without the success those two have had, I think enrollment's down at both places.
I agree with that.
And how many people are camping in right now at Allen Fieldhouse, Mark?
Yeah.
I mean, look like there's thousands in Allen Fieldhouse, didn't it?
Yeah.
But they can't all get tickets. I don't understand. Right?
That's a good question. How do they feed the tickets to these kids?
Aren't there more students in there right now than the student section holds?
Maybe they're holding spots for, I don't know.
I think it's a party. That's what I think it is. I think they're waiting for Bill Self to bring in donuts and pizza, and it's all good. And if I was in college, I'd be there too. No questions asked. The Vince Show's coming up next. The president just started his cabinet meeting. I'm sure he'll have much more on that and everything else going on in the world. Thanks for listening to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio.